What's up, everybody? Welcome to another After Credits. We're talking about the best movie we have seen in a long time. We're talking about The Great Wall.
The Greek Wall?
The Greek Wall.
That's a sequel!
The movie is directed by Zhang, who's, I'd probably pronounce that wrong, but he's a very famous Chinese director. He
House of Flying Dragon.
yeah,
Daggers.
Did Hero with Jet Li and Donnie Yen. Stars Matt Damon as a Scottish Irishman.
Dude, his accent was so in and out in this, it was ridiculous.
I have no idea. He's a Matt Damon, and he goes to... he and his racist Spanish buddy.
Played by the Spanish dude at Game of Thrones.
Yes, who is a dirty thief.
You know the better parts of this movie is whenever the monsters are letting loose on all the Chinese soldiers, because that shit actually was brutal.
They're all like so short.
He's just like much of it. Like, is this movie PG-13 or was it R?
It is PG-13, but I think it might have been a Chinese PG-13, which might equal out to an R. This reminded me a little bit of Warcraft, wherever Warcraft's violence was like, they show like a dude fucking his head just smashed on the ground. You don't see any blood because the size of the hammer covers his entire head, but you know, it was brutal enough.
It's cartoony, and that was my thought during the whole movie, is this would have worked better as a cartoon.
It reminded me of like Dynasty Warriors tower defense, and I felt like most of this story was just the CGI cutscenes. There are points in there where you see Matt Damon fucking fighting these lizard monsters, and I imagine like an X or a triangle about to pop on screen.
Remember the CG Tarkin from Rogue One? That's the movie.
Oh my god, no. The CGI is way worse than that. CG Tarkin is like Gollum compared to this shit.
When Matt Damon goes to China and he's captured by the Chinamen.
I fucking love that he's riding through the desert and then he just like comes across this giant fuck off wall, like, oh shit, how'd that get there? Where the fuck?
He couldn't see through his Jesus beard.
Matt Damon needs to never have facial hair ever again. Like, you look like my Skyrim character, like...
Willem Dafoe plays the one other white guy.
I'm pretty sure Willem Dafoe in real life is either sleeping on a friend's couch or homeless, so they just found him and they kind of shot around him.
No, he was sleeping on the director's couch, and someone was just like, hey, you know that's Willem Dafoe, right? Oh, I thought he was just some crazy homeless man. Shit, put him in the movie.
And there's a really hot Chinese she's a commander who becomes a general.
Yeah. The reason we built the Great Wall, well, one of the reasons is giant fucking lizard monsters
with eyes on their
that
shoulders.
Are supposed to teach us the errors of man's hubris.
By eating all of us.
At the beginning, I was really trying to keep it together because I get it, like, people are seriously trying to see this movie. There was an old guy sitting to our right.
Well, he showed up late, so fuck him.
It's true. But, like, the last, like, half an hour of this movie, like, you remember, I was, like, literally sobbing. I was laughing so hard because of how, like, ridiculous this got.
You were a giggling mess towards the end. Like...
Before we go too far into this, spoiler alert, we gotta do this. We gotta tell you everything that happens in this magical, wonderful movie. But if you want to see this majesty for yourself, scroll to the time code right here. You'll get our final thoughts and scores out of 6 stars. I'm gonna let them loose in 3, 2, 1, go.
None of this shit makes any goddamn sense. I literally don't understand a single thing that happened in this movie.
I've never felt so much that this movie was just making shit up as it went along. This is like the screenwriting equivalent of write a poem, 3 words, keep it going.
Yeah, it's like a college level, like, student film, like, where they give you the topic and they're like, write an essay. Matt Damon fights lizards on the Great Wall of China, and then you have to come up with a story. Like...
30 minutes, go.
Matt Damon was like hanging around in China. They're like, all right, let's just film this 1-hour TV movie. And they're like, we could put this on screen. Well, it's only an hour. Well, we need 45 more minutes. How about there's like balloons and shit? I don't know. There's like 3 major battle scenes, and they progressively get dumber. Like this movie, like it's
Helm's Deep. This is not. What is the moment that could comparably be paired with Legolas riding on a shield, like a skateboard?
The axe scene. Him and the Spanish guy throw axes at each other. They hit off, and then they go kill some monsters.
So they don't throw them at each other. They form this parabolic arc arc that's like boomerangs but with axes because they're action guys and can do that for some reason.
I think the idea was supposed to be, okay, we somehow hear the lizard monster coming. How about you throw your axe this way, we'll throw your axe this way, and we'll hope that the lizard's head just happens to be here when the axes cross over. But they fucked up and they kept that take in the movie.
Speaking of things that cross together, those scissor things. that was the point where I
lost it.
Yeah, they have like, and the monsters are like climbing up the wall, and they have.
This is the second battle, by the way.
Second battle.
The monsters have already proven they can climb up the wall at this point.
But this time they decide that they can use like these giant like scissors that are like in the Great Wall, and they just decapitate monsters, and they're just going back and forth.
But monsters are still getting around these things.
Yeah, they're still like.
There's still people fighting them on top of the wall and getting dragged down to their doom. Like,
the monsters like tend to pile up on each other when they climb the wall. Why the fuck did they wait for the second battle to pull out these goddamn scissors?
I'd say the first like 2/3 of this movie are like stupid, but at the end it turns into like Leonardo DiCaprio from Gilbert Grape.
Jesus.
The monsters like somehow crawled through the Great Wall without them knowing.
I almost went to ask you guys if I missed something because this scene comes out of nowhere. It seems like at one point the Spanish guy and Willem Dafoe are trying to leave and escape with gunpowder because that is of course the magical weapon of the world that the West hasn't acquired yet. And then randomly they just cut to this tunnel system like, damn, while we were fighting for the first hour of this movie, they just crawled through. They just crawled under.
And of course they don't have to kill all the monsters. They just have to kill the queen, because that's easy.
That is a very Independence Day too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
We have to kill the queen now, because that'll stop all the other monsters
That
for
is
some reason.
fucking bullshit. The movie just says that the queen sends a signal via her, like, head vagina that, like, warbles.
Oh, that weird sound that they made was so weird.
Yeah, okay, so the signal tells all the other ones what to do. The thing fucking warbles and it sends a message. So if you kill the queen, since the queen is like, I guess the brains behind the operation, the other monsters, in theory, should just like not know what the fuck to do. No. If the signal isn't going to their heads at all times, they turn into like fucking gargoyles from the cartoon and just freeze up and literally fall like goddamn dominoes.
There's like this dumbass that they introduced at the beginning of the movie who's like this stupid idiot but Matt Damon's like nice to him, but like all the other like
yeah, like he starts off as a soldier and then Matt Damon saves his life and then he fucks up later and then the soldier gets demoted, and I thought that was supposed to be Matt Damon looking at this guy like, oh, he's stuck doing menial work like cleaning like I was when I was a kid, so I'm gonna take to being his mentor.
Yeah,
I never made that connection. I was just like, this kid sucks. Like, he's such a pussy. Like,
after escaping a herd of, I guess, sand people, they might as well be sand.
hey, this is 2017. That's not a very progressive attitude to have.
Oh,
They're called Arabs.
Matt Damon finds this rock, and the other guys are fucking with him like, why would you take this magnet on this trip with you? And he doesn't tell them. He's just walking away and says like, well, I have a magnet. You never know when I'll need to make a compass. The Chinese find this magnet, and they're like, oh! It's like, this rock, we haven't seen one of these in 900 years. Keep in mind, the Chinese have invented gunpowder, they have scissors in their Great Walls, they have like an organized army based off of Power Rangers colors and everything.
they have flying balloon ships.
They have flying hot air balloons, but they don't know what a magnet is. And it turns out later in the movie, according to, quote, a 900-year-old battle report,
it's amazing.
in 900 years they have not found a magnet. The lizard monsters, because the queen communicates to all of them, it's like an electromagnetic pulse that all of them can kind of understand. And so if you put a magnet in front of them, they can't hear the queen's signal and they just stop because they're fucking
and then they
idiots.
fall asleep.
So at the end of the movie, there's this whole convoluted plot of like they're trying to get a magnet because they send it to the Emperor, and with like one of these creatures that they captured earlier when Matt Damon slid down the chain.
But then the magnet gets too far away from it.
The dumb guy from earlier who Matt Damon was helping, it's him, the hot Asian chick, General, Matt Damon, and then the old dude. The four of them are like running through a tunnel, and then the dumb fuck gets like injured, and Matt Damon's like, he'll be okay, and he leaves, but they're like, we'll come back for you. But then monsters come in, and he just blows himself up.
Through the door they just walked through, too.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's really fucked up is that the only reason the kid gets the shoulder wound is because there are monsters directly above the underground tunnel where they're at that reach their claws
they,
through
like,
the thing and
like
scoop
cats. They start putting their paws through.
him. If they're that close, why the fuck do you think they can leave him alone while they go save China?
Because he's 2 feet closer to the ground now.
Yeah, Matt Damon and the super hot General like start running up like the stairs in this weird rainbow thing. Like takes the magnet thing, and as the monsters are going, he's like, I was fucking dying.
Because he just holds it up to the door like, there, that'll
stop
this
him.
forms this barrier. They climb the building and jump through the windows, and then he's like, here! And he throws it 50 fucking stories. And
Yeah.
it gets stuck on the spear.
The one monster that the Emperor had, they went to, they gave to the Queen, and they latched it up with bombs. So
Okay,
they're trying to
here's my thing.
So that he would bird feed with the Queen and then explode.
Okay, here's my thing. What is their master plan here? At the end of the movie, they all invade the Capitol, which, by the way, is pretty much fucking empty.
Yeah, it's
Like, there's
very
maybe
empty,
only
it's very
like
spacious.
50 extras running away, like 5 minutes into the running away from the Capitol
And then
scene.
they reuse that extras for when they landed. They're like, what are you doing here? And it's like, weren't you about to land with a bunch of monsters?
I'm just saying, what the fuck?
Why is this big open area just fine? Like, this makes no fucking sense.
Which makes me wonder, if they're part of the military, shouldn't they know right away that they're from the military?
Yeah, they're
You
the
think
only
they
other
would have
people
given smoke
parachuting
signals?
into the fucking place. Like,
You remember in Mulan when they had fucking smoke signals going
Yeah,
all through the Great
it's
Wall?
just-
Why the fuck didn't they do that?
That chick should play Mulan.
She should actually. She was really good.
I was thinking about
I
it,
liked her.
like I'd like to see her in like a good movie. I swear to God, if Kevin Hart plays Mushu, I'm gonna kill myself.
I want I don't even want a CGI Mushu. I just want to paint it up like a Broadway performance of Mulan.
Okay, if that was Kevin Hart doing that, I would be okay with that.
Why the fuck do they need to stop the Queen? They said something like they need to feed her, and if she gets to a certain level of like,
Okay,
full,
it doesn't make sense. Let's just
Yeah, if she consumes enough, then the world is doomed. That was basically the long and short of it. Why is it now a thing where like seemingly mammalian creatures have these insect-like things where it's like the Queen is in charge of everything?
yeah.
because that's how they write themselves out of the corner. It's like the
feminism.
sky
It's
portal.
feminism.
It's feminism.
Feminism run rampant.
The ending when instead of getting the fucking gunpowder, he saves his dumbass friend.
Who betrayed him like
Yeah.
2 hours ago?
I did like to see, seeing Willem Dafoe get blown up because those dumbasses just throw the grenades in the
Yeah.
fire.
This is part of the legendary Monsterverse, which is a thing now.
Wait, is this actually?
It was made by Legendary, so I assume that it takes place within their Monsterverse. So, the inevitable Great Wall 2 Pacific Rim crossover is gonna be fucking great.
Matt Damon and the Chinese chick and the Hispanic guy, they're in Japan now, right? Still in the past. And so they're fighting, they come across the kaiju, and then the kaiju like throws them through the magic portal that leads them to our world.
That'd be fucking awesome.
So it's like a time travel story.
Me and my friend Kane had this idea for like the Godzilla Pacific Rim crossover.
Sorry.
And so Kong and Zilla are gonna fight in 2018, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, they want to do a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover. I think they should build a Jaeger big enough for Zilla and Kong to mind drift in. And they have to fight like a category 50 or whatever.
It's like they go to space.
They have to fight Space Godzilla and Space Kong.
In
Because
space.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
This actually sounds great.
Doesn't it? The kaiju people are opening portals on different planets and shit, trying to harvest, and
That's a really good idea.
It's probably gonna happen. If you scroll to the time code, welcome back. We had a very in-depth discussion about the Great Wall. I'm so torn. I'm not going first for the scoring, so I'm gonna hand it over to you, Daniel. What did you think about this movie overall, and what would you score it out of 6 stars?
If I wasn't dealing with a post-viral cough that I've had for the last week and a half, I would have laughed even harder. This movie is so much goddamn fun. It is the epitome of a drunk movie. This is the kind of dumb, stupid movie that I really enjoy. One that's actually made well, one that seems like it actually...
Well, it's like the retarded kid drawing. Like, it's not good, but it's cute that he made the effort.
No, what it is to me, there's no way in hell I could recommend you pay like $15 to go see this in 3D or
I would buy it on
XD.
DVD for $15.
Fuck no.
Hanging out with friends and you wanna get drunk and watch a really stupid movie.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
And so for that, I will recommend this marginally and go like 3.5 out of 6.
I'm gonna also give this 3.5 because,
Sweet.
look, this is not a good movie. This might be like one of the most illogical movies I've ever seen in terms of just nothing in this movie makes any sense. If I'm scoring it purely on quality, I would go much lower. But if I'm scoring this on entertainment, that like has to add so much because I was laughing so hard during this movie, and I was just like, I couldn't wait to see how dumb it got next.
Yeah, it was great, but none of it made any fucking sense. So I'll give it a 3.
Give it a 3.5. Wasn't that bad.
HK total of 3.375.
I feel like there's gonna be so many dads in the theater, just old people that are like, what's coming out this weekend? Like, we haven't been to the movies in a while.
2 for Matt Damon.
2 for Matt.
That's what we're gonna
That
get.
is gonna be the entirety of my weekend. Is 2 for Matt Damon.
It's all
2
gonna be.
for China.
It's gonna be all these old dudes that are
2
like,
for Trump's wall.
why do they not speak right?
Y'all speak Spanish, speak it to each other.
If y'all like this, click the like button down below. We've also got the subscribe button. You'll be the first to know when new content comes out. As far as social media, we got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Liam's got a blog, liammgahan.wordpress.com. Our friend Noah is the Cinema Geek on Instagram. Again, thank y'all very, very much for watching. Take care, and y'all have a good night. See ya.
Matt Damon.
Saves China.